The history of film is littered with keystone films that change a genre or create a new one. The goal of this show is to explore those movies and the legacy they leave in their wake. Our first submission is the 1993 classic, Groundhog Day. Hello and welcome to this week's edition of, that's right, still unnamed movie podcast. I'm so sorry. We spent a little bit of time after last week's episode trying to record a fun little bonus segment where we talked about what the name should be, and I ruined it by not having any ideas and being a dick about all the ideas that you brought. So, I'm your host, Zach, of course, and he, of course, is your other host,
Chris Poland.
Crisp, as we established last week.
Yeah.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I wish you wouldn't have started with that because I let that go, and I forgot that was 45 minutes of me pitching fucking ideas.
I have
to
a
you.
file. It was 18 minutes, you baby.
Well, I mean, but that's like dog time to me, which.
Yeah, because I'm your dog.
I'm the dog.
What up, dog? We fucking suck.
Stop it.
Already.
Stop it.
So this is a show where we break down movies. We talk about each season we pick a movie. This season we're doing Groundhog Day, and then we do other movies that are time loops and try to determine what percent they are Groundhog Day. That's the premise of our show.
Yes.
So that being said, how you doing tonight?
I'm
gonna try to interrupt you as many times as possible, and then reset and ask how you're doing tonight. So how you doing tonight? That's 3.
Not too bad. I unfortunately started off too early this evening telling you about the things that happened at work because normally anytime I see you, I go, hey, guess what happened at work today? It's always some kind of nonsense.
Last week, and I don't know if we talked about this on the show, he found a dildo in the parking lot of a Home Depot.
We found a dildo.
And you and Patrick, not me.
Me and Pat. And the best part is that I was walking towards it because I'm like, hey, bro, I think this is a dildo. And the immediate response from Patrick was, well, yeah, of course. The more you walk towards it, the more it's going to look like a dildo. And I stopped and went,
That's because it is a dildo.
What the fuck does that mean? Of course, if it's a dildo, it's going to look even more like a dildo the more high def it gets.
So Patrick lives in this quantum state of being where he sees a cat and it's 100 yards away, and then at 70 yards he's like, that's a kind of dick-shaped cat.
Yeah.
And then at 50 he's like, is that a cat dildo? And then once he gets right up on it, it's like, oh no, it's just a dildo. Everything's a dildo.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was good. There was multiple
weird
fun
psychosis.
parts of that story, but the best is we were both walking away laughing hysterically at the dildo. And we were walking back into Home Depot, and this older guy goes, "Hey man, y'all need to quit laughing. There's a pandemic going on." And Patrick, without a beat, he goes, "But there's a dildo in the road." He goes, "Dildo in the road? Well, y'all keep laughing then."
I like that you gained permission from the laughter troll.
Why did he
Hang on, did he sanction that laugh that you just did?
He was clearly joking, but I just love that he just did a double take. He was like, dildo on the road, and then looked and went, well, then y'all keep laughing.
Did you know that that's the Prince of Comedy you ran into?
Yeah, so anyway, that was last week.
So everyone's okay.
This week we're going to skip. There's a lot of old men and old women just yelling
look,
at me.
Just so everybody is okay with it, I want you to know that we got this week's episode pre-sanctioned with the Prince of Comedy. He certified it. We can make jokes. We can laugh. You know, we're in a building. We're at least 6 feet apart from each other. We're responsible.
Stick out your arm.
We play by the... Never.
I have a Band-Aid on my finger, so it's probably more gross.
You're trying to squeeze out your virus juice that you're full of.
Yeah, I'm sorry, everyone, because now we're just talking about what I've been up to.
Well,
I pulled off my fingerprint, my ID, on accident with some pliers, and it's now infected.
When you
so
do it
sorry,
with pliers, how can it be an accident?
Well,
It's
a
like
lot to the story.
nope, that's
No,
it.
I was going to pull out a
Nope,
bit,
too
and
late.
I went to pinch it, and I pinched my finger, and then pulled off my
I went to
fingerprint.
pull off a bit
I
of my
pulled off-
fingerprint, and I pulled off all of it.
And I kept yelling, I pulled off my ID.
I lost my ID.
I lost my ID.
I love that joke.
It hurt
Has
a
it been
lot.
sanctioned? Prince of Comedy.
This is illegal.
Oh, shit.
Totally illegal. I did not get tested.
That was fun. I'm glad we did that.
I'm Chris.
Crisp. So this week, we are talking about the 2017 film Before I Fall. Now, before we get into it, I just want to, give a little disclaimer that,
Spoilers.
this is not a movie for us. As
No.
As men in their mid-30s, this is not a movie for us.
No, actually, can I tell what happened last night?
Well, hang on. Real quick.
Okay.
If you're a 15-year-old girl and you're listeing to this show,
love
number
it.
one, what's wrong with you? Why are you listening to this?
Yeah, you should.
Suck less.
Well,
because you suck if you're listening to this. That's if you're a
Phrasing.
15-year-old girl.
Phrasing.
I don't mean penises. You're 15. You should be at 0.
No, it's peni.
Penises, like indices.
Anyway,
but
oh my god, if you're 15 listening to this, please turn it off.
if you're a 15-year-old girl, this is a movie that might blow your mind. It might really set you on a path. It might be like the Donnie Darko of this generation. I don't know.
Oof. This is weird. This is taboo to watch.
So what happened last night when you tried to watch this movie?
I was playing Bag Bros with my bro.
What is
and
that?
I started.
Is that your game?
Yeah, the beanbag.
Okay. I didn't know what it's
beanbag
called.
game that we're inventing. All of us, all three of us. So anyway, I put this movie on and watched 4 minutes and called Zach and said, "Hey, bro, I think we need to break format, and we should watch this together over the phone later because I'm 4 minutes in and I can't watch this movie because it opens like Mean Girls in a terrible way."
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like
Mean
I felt
Girls
like
is
I should
funny.
be watching the movie, and I was like, "Hey, I need a buddy on this. Like, I need some assistance because the only notes I have, or at the time, were just 2 sentences. I don't like rich people, and I think these girls are all too underage for me to make a funny comment." Like that's all I had.
No, but here's the thing. Okay, so that was your experience. My experience was I watched half of this movie on my phone in my car on my lunch break at work.
Because you're rich.
Because I'm rich. That's why I work.
Yeah,
because I own a car.
you're the finest of car.
The finest of car. That was my experience with this movie. Do you have any more pre-format comment, or do you want to get into your summary?
I mean, I'll do into the summary. The lead, Samantha, it's her. She's the groundhog, and she's reliving the day. And it's actually if you recall, I called this movie. I said this is going to be the closest to Groundhog Day yet, just by watching the trailer. Remember?
And I didn't watch the trailer, so yes, you did call it.
So I did call the movie. She is trying to better herself throughout the continuous day to figure out how to get out of the Groundhog Day, and spoiler, it's very close to Groundhog Day in that theme that she just wants to be better. She knows there's a deeper lesson, and she's just watching her not last day of high school. One of her
Cupid Day.
Oh God, we can't talk about that yet. Fucking Valentine's Day.
It's not Valentine's Day though.
It's
It's February 12th.
Well, then what? All right. Anyway,
They keep calling it Cupid Day.
All right, so she's just looping. Fuck it. Well, then we're going into this. Why the fuck is it Cupid Day?
I don't know.
Is it not Valentine's Day?
I've never heard that. Hang on.
Why does every single person say it too? Like it's a common
Cupid
thing.
Day. So okay,
Because I
here
was
are
like,
my
oh
comments
shit,
on
it's
it.
Sweetest Day, but I think that's like earlier in the year.
Yeah, that's in September, but it's also fake.
Oh my God.
So here was my first note. Interesting that it's another holiday, in quotes, Cupid Day. All right.
Well,
So
I just
that's at the
assumed it was
beginning.
Valentine's Day, and
So did
everyone
I,
was
but
really
everyone
cool.
kept calling it Cupid Day, so I put it in quotes. So my
so
next
did I.
comment about it is on my next page. It is, What the fuck is Cupid Day?
No, that's what I have. I just wrote Cupid Day. Let's start there. What the fuck's happening?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's Feb.
I don't know.
It's Feb 12th.
It's the 12th.
What the hell kind of day is that?
So what's crazy though is I assumed it was Valentine's Day just like you did, and then when she's in the car and about to wreck for the first time, and she looks down at her phone and it says 12:39, February 13th, I was like, that's not right. I was like, is it about to be Valentine's Day? And then I was like, no, it says 12:39. No, it was the 12th.
It was 8:38.
You're wrong about that.
No, I think I'm
wrong about that.
All right.
We'll pull it up. We'll watch it right now. The whole movie.
Whip it out then.
Oh, God.
But, so yeah, Cupid Day is not a real thing, nor is Sweetest Day. I just want to be on the record for that horse shit.
We don't need corporate love holidays. It's bullshit.
So my second note beyond Cupid Day, what the fuck's happening, is does everyone watch themselves brush their teeth? I'm not saying I don't do it.
What do you mean?
My first note is like she's brushing her teeth in the mirror, and like everyone does that, right? Is that a thing that like everyone has to do?
Yeah, that's what you
do.
do.
You think you'd fuck up if you weren't watching yourself?
No, but I think because
if you're clipping your nails, well, I guess you can look down.
Of course, I look down at my nails when I'm clipping them.
Well, fuck. I mean, I don't have a good analogy.
No, here's the thing.
If you're trimming your nose, well, no, because you would.
If you
anything on the face, you have to watch.
Okay, here's the thing. I have a baby who is 10 months old today.
Brag.
Look, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do an experiment where she will never, growing up, she will never brush her teeth in the bathroom, like at the bathroom sink in front of a mirror. We'll do it at the kitchen sink, or we'll do it somewhere else to see if it's normal, if she treats it like normal, if she's not looking in that mirror. Because I think that's why we do it.
No, that's stupid. That's not going to matter because they're baby teeth. They're going to fall out, son. Now,
it's not. Her brain isn't going to fall out.
You got to wait till she has the parent teeth. That's what Andy calls them.
He calls them the parent teeth?
That rules. He calls them his parent teeth, and I'm like, well, do they have more teeth?
I really like that. Well, those are the teeth of one who can create more teeth. Right?
About his parent teeth, and I just allow it. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Just keep
I mean, that's like that's a really smart extrapolation of what they're called. It's baby teeth and parent teeth, of course.
Yeah,
that's really smart. Actually,
are you noting that?
That's very cool.
Noting?
Look, I'm stealing it.
All right.
I'm gonna put it in a movie.
Okay.
Speaking of which, remind me when we're done. I have a movie idea that we're gonna do.
Fantastic. So anyway, let's recap a little more since I jumped past it with the Cupid Day.
I did also say my next note that I want to get into in your summary because I don't want to spend too much time on it. These girls are fucking horny.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm gonna jump into my next point if you keep doing this nonsense. So basically, there's 4 friends. There's Sam, Lindsay. There's Allie and Elodie.
Elodie.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's weird.
So Sam is the protagonist. Lindsay is kind of the antagonist. Like she's like I don't know how to do this without being stereotypical.
She sucks.
She's the mean blonde one. She's the pretty mean leader. Blonde one. I mean, I know we're not supposed to judge, but like she's the one that sleeps around whatever.
Sure, she's sexually empowered.
Allie, like they hit all the areas. They have the Irish one, the blonde, the Asian, and then the Italian. Whatever. Like they really did they really was vast as far as
they got every shade of white. This is like the least diverse movie I think I've ever seen.
You're right. But
like I feel like in Braveheart there's more diversity.
Sam's the one that's just kind of going along with these I'll just keep saying it, mean girls. Lindsay's the fucking bitch leader kind of thing.
But she's so overtly mean.
Smart, Allie's the smart, rich one, but she's annoying.
Elodie is the drunk.
Like that's what
she's the drunk, but she's the peacemaker.
They keep
she holds everyone together.
She's really chill. Like I love Elodie, and they always just call her the drunk. And I'm like,
you
she's
love
not that
somebody
bad.
In this movie is a bummer.
Well, I mean, I don't love her.
No, it's too late. You said it.
No. Here's the thing.
You said you love her more than your son.
I have fucking notes. I don't love her. I LUV her. I have fucking notes, bro. Like,
So you'd say love you
this
to her?
shit took me back to high school, and I hated every
Dude, and okay, so that's something that I want to get to, like,
now we're
towards
going
the
back
end.
to the horniness.
No, that's something I want to get to towards the end. Okay. I agree. Okay. I have that note as well.
Let's go back. Let's just stick on the horniness. Who the fuck says losing your virginity is called opening night? Like, what? Is that a thing? Do you remember?
You know, I guess I didn't bump on that, but like, yeah, no, that's weird.
No, when they said that, I was like,
and every time she's like, this series of comments always got me. Elodie gets in the car. She gives Sam the condom.
This is the morning.
She gives Sam the condom and says, "Here's your gift. It's for tonight.
It's for him.
It goes on him." Someone else says it goes on him. I think it was Lindsay says it goes on him. It was somebody else.
I think it was Elodie.
But it was like that series of lines. I was like, God damn, this is stupid.
How are you a senior in high school and don't know that it goes on him?
Is she supposed to be that like
dumb.
Pollyanna that like she doesn't get that there's like this, you know, banana shaped object that she needs to wrap up to go like
I mean, I'll give them credit, which I shouldn't, and say like they were just being playful, but no.
But also
they're awful.
At one point when she doesn't take the condom, Lindsay goes,
so she's gonna raw dog.
No, she goes, "You're gonna be an STD factory."
Like you. No, but then she comes back.
No.
Like you.
Of course. But is she like, if she honestly thinks that this dude, who her very good friend is about to have sex with, is gonna be
like a year,
an STD, like give her an STD, why would she be cool with it? Why wouldn't she be like, man, that dude fucks around and he has STDs?
Because they're seniors, bro.
Seniors.
Like I was waiting for the part, and here's another spoiler. No one fucked her boyfriend. Like I really thought
that was
the boyfriend Rob would like that someone was gonna be fucking him
Lindsay.
secretly.
I thought it was gonna be Lindsay.
And at the end, he kind of goes, "I should have fucked, Elodie or whatever." But I'm like, oh, no one was secretly fucking that guy. Like I assumed that was gonna be part of this.
I did not even question that. It was so sure in my mind that I didn't even write it down. I did make a prediction that I wrote down, but I didn't even write that down because I was just like, yeah, of course he's fucking Lindsay. Of course.
Yeah.
Or even like, so skipping ahead, this is dumb, but like the guy who likes Sam, when she finally in the last go round. Kent, that's his name. When she finally
Kent's the nice guy. Kent's the sweetheart. He's
the fucking incel.
He's hosting the Cupid Day party because he's in love with her, and the whole thing's excuse to
whatever. But when she finally shows up at the party and goes and talks to him, he's talking to another girl, and he just walks away from her. And if you look at her face in the background, how fucking
rude is that,
dude?
Right?
No, if you look at her face in the background, she's like, well, fuck me then. Like, she's pissed about it because they're in the middle of a conversation and he just turns and walks away from her.
This whole crew is a pack of dicks. Everyone at this high school sucks.
Yeah.
It's just
and
a
he's
rich
like
high
a fucking
school.
and he's like a fucking panting dog for her fucking attention. Who's like, somebody is like petting him already, and as soon as she walks in the room, he's like, I gotta get her.
But the multiple times that he comes in, like the whole thing about Cupid's Day is like it's whoever gets the most roses is most popular, or whatever. Like so, you hand out roses, and he goes, everyone's getting the red roses, and he gives Sam, Kent gives Sam the white rose with the red tips
this like
or whatever.
different rose,
and it made me think of me in high school, like when I was just trying so fucking hard to get someone to like me.
Oh yeah, you were trying to be that nice guy.
I know, because he's like, hey, here's this one rose from this admirer, and she goes, oh,
and it has like this poem in it that he writes,
and she goes, oh, you mean from you? And he goes, I mean, I guess you guessed it. Did you see how the edges are red? I'm just like, that was so me. Where I'm like, I couldn't be subtle about jack shit.
It's different.
I had
like
to explain why exactly I was so fucking in love with you. Like, you gotta get it, right?
I really, really love that. But I also love that every interaction they have in the school, when she's like, when he doesn't say it to her first, when she's like, when she knows it's from him already in one of the like repeat days, and he says something about the rose, and she goes, yeah, thanks for that rose, and he goes, I didn't say it was from me, and she's like, yeah, but it is, and he's like, what? Yeah, like, it's so fucking awkward.
I know that was the worst part. It's just like, because now I'm like, you're just like, I don't care, like if you like me or you don't. I mean, we're 30.
We're 50.
How old are we?
We're not the same age.
We're 36.
I'm 36.
So
You're 35.
Okay. So we're 36.
We're not the same
We're
age.
36. And now it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, if you want to hang around, I'm cool with that. But like back when you...
I just really want my wife to give me like a white with red fringe rose and like a poem on it.
But
to like awkwardly look like
remember
fucking Michael Cera had a baby with Tobey Maguire and try to hit on me.
I do remember how like everything was pending on high school. Like high school was the most important thing, and you had to make sure it was so fucking cool all the time, even if you weren't. Like you had to redeem yourself. So that being said, there's a shot. It's around when she's brushing her teeth, and I'm sorry, they're getting ready for the Cupid's Day party, where I guess the videographer is shooting through the shower door.
Hot.
It's so weird because they're just getting prompt and ready, and they're like, "So you ready to fucking you ready to have opening night or whatever bullshit?"
Yeah.
Because I go, what a weird angle to show how dirty your mirror is. I wrote that down because I'm like it reminded me like every time
I didn't even notice.
Every time I've ever tried to take like a fucking like a dick pic in my mirror, I'm like, I should have cleaned that mirror. Because, like, you can see all the specks
all the dots and, like,
all the
bullshit.
And I'm like, why didn't they try to clean that? And I realized, oh, fuck, that's like it's a decorative shower door. And I'm like, why did they shoot through that door?
So...
Because all of a sudden I was like, why the fuck? Like, yeah, everyone knows when you're taking a fucking a nudie that you, I don't know why I said nudie, but like taking a nude.
You're Al Bundy?
When you're taking a nude, you got to clean the fucking glass, bro.
No,
like,
so here's the thing. The cinematographer was in the shower because they were shooting from the point of view of Elodie in the shower. She was taking a shower.
Vomiting. Yeah.
I made that up. I don't know.
She's drunk.
She's drunk. So one thing I thought was interesting, and let me know when you're ready to get into tropes. But one thing that I thought was really interesting.
We can actually pause on this one. We can go through the movie a little bit.
Okay, cool. So one thing I noticed and this is, I feel fucking dumb. I feel like
you look dumb.
Duh.
Go on.
I feel like in the English class, the teacher is like teaching this lesson on Sisyphus.
Did you not think that he was fucking someone too?
Yeah, but also I have a note later that like the teacher looks like he's the same age as them.
Yeah,
like, that guy. And it's not until
young, but
it's not until later.
But I'm gonna rebuttal with a name I can't name and another name I can't name from our high school, and it's not the two that you're thinking of.
What?
There was not the teacher and student that hooked up thing from our school that you're thinking of.
What, our friends that got married?
It was the other teacher and fucking student that hooked up at our school.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Anyway, he looked just the same age because he was literally only like 6 years older.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I know, but I can't name the names.
You can, because I can edit this.
I want everyone to know that we had two different teacher-student scenarios that were definitely like newsworthy.
One of them is our very good friends who got married.
Yeah,
like,
but that's awesome because
that is awesome. Okay,
the other ones were definitely.
Hang on a sec. I'm gonna put a mark. Okay, that makes sense.
We're recording.
I mean, we were recording the whole time, but I was making notes to cut that. So
okay, I just told Zach the names. He's really excited.
No, it was actually kind of disappointing because I was like, oh, they did? Okay, cool.
It's still a fucking story.
It's still a fucking story.
It's still two of them. Like, come on. we hit lick.
Did you say we hit lick?
That's what he said to her. Ayo.
I don't know what that means. Is that a phrase, or did you just make that up?
No, hit lick's a real thing.
All right.
I mean, I haven't said it in probably...
Ever?
When was I in high school? No, when you hit lick, you score. That's what it means. Like, you score, like, weed or, like...
I've never heard of that. That's
like
interesting.
But
I'm a fucking dork.
Some sweet...
Don't finish that sentence. Candy.
But I don't know.
Okay, so...
I don't know how the kids talk.
So I think it's wild that this is the first time loop movie that we're seeing where Sisyphus is mentioned.
And it's not an STD.
That joke is terrible.
That joke sucks.
So that's the English teacher. Oh, so what I was saying is I didn't catch how young he looks until she's up at the front of the class confronting him towards the end. You remember? Because then like when she's like right in his face, I was like, they're the same fucking age. Like they're both 22 years old.
I have a lot to talk about with that scene.
So the whole Sisyphus thing, like I think that's really interesting because like in a way that's the original time loop, but it's funny because all the movies that we do, it's either an accident or a shot at redemption. But with Sisyphus, it's literally a punishment, reliving the same day over and over.
Yeah. Can I push away for a second with my note from that? So
are you gonna say it is an STD?
I mean, it is because the mental. I'm not gonna ask any questions this week about carrying over a mental or a physical condition into the time loop, just to be nice to you. But
we can't keep doing that.
I know, because I still think you're wrong. But all right, so if you Groundhog Day, but let's say it's only like, let's use this movie for example.
Maybe it's
only,
Cupid Day.
It's only for like 2 or 3 days, and then you don't learn a lesson, but you're snapped out of it. Do you tell anyone? Like, if you go
no, because you feel like you've just had a psychotic break.
If you go, that's what I'm saying. If you go through this bullshit scenario when you're like second day guessing and all this shit,
yeah,
but it only lasts for 3 days, but you don't learn anything. Like, it just stops because you're like, wait.
It was just completely random.
Because here's the thing. It could happen again. Like, so you don't, like,
yeah.
Do you suppress that shit and just go through therapy? Or, like, do you go, bro, you're not going to believe this shit?
No, because nobody would. They would all just think you're crazy, and that's it. Because after a certain point, you can't be like, well, this is about to happen and this is about to happen, because that's how everybody proves that they have relived the day, is because they're like, that guy's going to fall. That guy's going to say, fuck yeah, bro. Like, that car is going to explode, and then that guy's going to jerk off on it. Like, it's all that crazy shit that they point out that's so inexplicable, and you couldn't just guess.
Here's the thing, and I'm going to get real philosophical. Do you think that Moses Groundhog Day, and that's why everyone bought his bullshit? Because, you know, all of a sudden he's like,
he knew
hey,
the
man,
Red Sea was gonna.
He's like, I'm gonna. This phenomenon happens, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. I lived for like 6 days. I'm telling you, bro, the fucking sea's gonna part. Like, and then it happened.
He's like,
and
oh
they're
fuck,
like, whoa!
Oh fuck! If I show up and I do my arms like this, it's gonna look like I made that happen.
Yeah, like exactly. Some phenomenon's happened.
Look,
and he just took credit for that shit.
As much as I would love to go down this road with you, I'm gonna shut it down right now and say that, like, no, I don't think Moses Groundhog Day, because it's a fake story that is not real and never happened. Okay. And I hope my father doesn't listen to this podcast, because I don't want to have another argument about biblical scholars.
He won't. He's not proud of you. So.
He really kind of is. He listens to stuff I do. He thinks I'm funny. Like.
All right, Don. Sorry about that. Thanks for the plate Dorito idea, by the way, that I announced at his wedding.
Classic.
When I hinted that me and you were married.
That was a good toast. You know what? I'm just gonna clip the audio from your toast and tack it on to the end of this episode.
Nice. So here,
like 20 minutes.
I have a little secret. Or not a secret. I mean, it's a secret to you. I have a little game we're gonna play.
Oh, okay.
And that is, who would you be in this movie, and who do you think I would be, and vice versa? I'm going to guess who you would be and who I would be. So you get to go first. Who would you be,
and who would
I be in this movie? I would prefer the 4 ladies, but it's whatever.
Oh, okay, because I was definitely going to say, like, I would be the dad and you would be the mom.
I mean, why am I the mom? Because I was ugly in high school?
Yeah, your eyes were too close together.
God
no.
Damn it. All right, so who would you be? Who would you
be?
Of
the 4 ladies?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it doesn't have to be, but like,
no, but I mean, if we're doing 4 ladies, then like I think I'm Sam. Honestly, like I think I'm Sam, because like I'm the one who would be like.
And one reason why I didn't explain that. One reason why. One example
why. Because I think that if I was presented with that existential look at my life to see like, oh, like I was shitty to this person, I I would try to not be and try to mend that, because that's something that like really weighs on me.
Okay.
And so seeing that she does that, and because at the heart, and this is something we talk about often with these time loop movies, at the heart of a time loop movie is self-betterment. And that's something that I've been trying to do for the past 15 years, is to like improve. And so like, you know, if that's the character that is trying to get better, like I'm not, what's her name? The smart girl. Like I'm not her because Allie, because she's got her shit together. I'm not Elodie because I'm not
and
a
you're
drunk.
not rich.
And I
or
don't
Asian.
I don't like try to like, well, I guess I do try to like, you know, mend fences and solve problems between people. I have done that, but like I'm not Lindsay because she's just this like,
you're not a
she's just this
you're not
insecure like
blonde bitch
tough guy
who
shell to protect her
channels
inner
anger.
pain. So I don't know, like I guess I mean that, so to me that's all it leaves is Sam for me.
Okay. I mean there's not a lot of variance.
Yeah, it's hard to say because they're all fucking bitches, just like the Juliet says at the party.
I
they're
think
all
we're
bitches.
gonna get the same names, but so who am I?
Who are you?
Yeah, of the four, of anybody. And don't say Rob. Please don't say Rob.
You're not Rob.
I'm not the douchey
He's
dude
a douche. You're not Rob.
who like is the most lazily written character. Good God.
Right. He has like 5 lines, and they're like we're gonna fuck
No,
it.
like, it's literally like imagine a douchey bro boyfriend, and they're like nailed it. Like we got it.
It's like you've heard of one-dimensional characters. This is like an eighth of a dimension.
Oh, God,
like it's nothing.
Who am I?
But who are you? That's tough because like
I don't
because
think it,
what are you,
it's
Elodie?
really-
Like, are you a drunk?
Well, I mean, yes, I clearly am.
Okay.
But like, oh, that is like just,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
just-
if we're going on these tropes for the characters that you created, then yes, I think you are.
all right, so I'm fucking Elodie, but no examples other than fucking booze hound. All right,
Well, you're the one who said that.
I'm cool with that.
And also, you would give me a condom and say like, opening night, it goes on his dong. Hey.
No. All right, so do you want to hear mine?
Oh, I do.
So I cheated. I misled you. You're fucking Kent, bro. You're the fucking nice dude.
Fuck you. I'm not that incel piece of shit.
You're the fucking nice guy. You're the fucking nice guy.
Remember when we were in 3rd grade?
Who does romantic things.
Fuck him.
And has a nice memory and falls in love with someone he's truly dear with. Now, if we're doing females, you're fucking Sam. Like,
of course I'm Sam.
You're fucking Sam because you're the logical one. Do you want to know who I am?
Oh, Jesus.
I'm Elodie. Because of this.
Why were you so shocked when I said Elodie? You're like,
I was excited. I was trying to mislead you because at the party, someone goes skank and another one goes harlot, and Elodie walks and goes, "Y'all talking about me?" That's exactly why I'm her.
That's
I'm
really
Elodie
fucking funny.
because I'm drunk and I walk and go, "Y'all talking about me?" You know how often I say that to people when I hear something shitty being said? Y'all talking about me?
That is your catchphrase.
So yeah,
That's-
I thought you'd enjoy that.
That's fantastic. That was a lot
I
of fun.
knew we were gonna land on.
But
the
look,
same
man,
names.
don't say I'm Kent because Kent
So
is
you're
a
Kent.
problem.
You're Kent, you little bitch.
I may have been Kent in high school, but like I'm not Kent.
Why don't you push up your glasses when you say that? I'm not Kent. I'm a man.
Ooh, I'm not that incel.
No,
That
because
spoiled rich
no,
boy
because he's a fucking
incel.
sweetheart. You shouldn't take that as a negative.
He's not a sweetheart. He's the nice guy that we see as like the right choice for her, but really like that's just like, oh, he was pining away for her and did everything to deserve her love. Like that's some fucking misogynistic bullshit. Like she can be with whomever she wants.
He was heartfelt and remembered in 3rd grade when they were best friends and all those intimate moments they had. Like that's
when he tells that story about like his dad dying and like her smashing the fucking mashed potatoes in a dude's face, it was like the most stilted dialogue that I have ever heard. It was terrible.
This movie wasn't meant to be perfect. It was just meant to make some
It's
money.
Citizen Kane.
Don't slap your thigh. What's slapping your thigh? Both of them too. Oof.
So
Now that
we're like
now that
35 minutes in. We're definitely going over an hour on this.
Now that I remembered how much of a bitch Zach was in high school,
That's right.
I'm going to tell you all about something I used to do in high school that I forgot about until
Oh my
this movie
God.
came
All
out.
right, this is
And I already hinted towards it. And that was, it wasn't just me, it was all of high school, and mainly junior high. But It was the Sam's like, I think he's gonna say I love you tonight, and they're like, well, like he already said it, and she goes, no, he wrote in the letter LUVYA, love ya, but that's not love, and I'm just like, fuck, I forgot that's a thing.
Yeah, guys thought that was like getting away with it, like, but I didn't say it.
No,
She
but not
thinks
even that. It was like a cute little thing because I would say I love you all the time. Like if I thought you were
No,
gonna,
I remember you.
If I thought you were gonna touch me, I was gonna tell you I was in love with you. It's not a big deal. But I forgot that was a fucking thing that you would do when you were in a fight. Is you would go love you like with the U, and like because when you're breaking up with someone,
You're in
that's what you
some
would
passive aggressive shit.
Yeah, I went through high school. Yeah,
I didn't
Did
do
you
that.
not?
I didn't do that because I was so like shy in high school as far as like girls that like I dated like nobody until like senior year.
Oh,
I always liked girls, but like I was like, oh, I like her, but I don't know what to
I don't
say.
really
I don't
remember
know.
about everything from high school.
I just know that's how I was. I know I dated like nobody until like, you know,
Oh yeah.
until
Well,
I met
yeah,
a girl from
had-
another school.
I had a serious relationship when I was a fucking whatever I was, sophomore or junior or whatever. And then like I had a rocky relationship like from like around senior. So like it was always like on and off. So
Yeah.
like I don't really remember. But yeah, I remember like
But
getting out
all
of
those
it.
emotions were always so intense.
But no, I remember dating a girl my senior year, and she was a year younger than me, and it was like she was like, you know, like because I was seeing somebody else, you know, kind of like back and forth. So it was always like, "Would you love me?" I'm like, "I love you," like with the you, like I love you. What do you mean? Like, of course, because you just listen. Your silences
You're
make
a
me feel
fucking
kind of
fly ball.
shitty. They make me feel shitty. No, my heart was broken, bro, by the older one.
I remember.
Fuck you.
I remember.
But anyway, yes, I totally remember manipulating the fucking love you.
That's really funny.
not
So back on the movie. I think again we're still in the first day, really, but I think the first day is the most interesting still. Like because I'm always looking for like, oh, what's something that's going to repeat? What's something that she's going to change? What goes wrong? What happens? Every time they were in a car, so it said she died. Every time they were driving, I was expecting a car wreck. I was expecting, like...
They weren't...
Every time they drive,
not
I was
during
like...
the day, though.
Even then, I was like, are they going to die on the way to school? Are they going to do... Like, and I didn't know if it was going to be a Final Destination where she dies, avoids dying the first time in the car wreck, or like Happy Death Day where, like, she dies a different way, you know? But
yeah,
I
it
think
was only at night that I assumed.
I
They were
think
gonna
in the
wreck,
time
which
loops,
I knew they were.
I think in the time loops, I always really love that first day. I really watch it with like really close attention, trying to see like what happens and what is going to change. I thought it was
correct. We both said that most of the
Yeah.
time we take notes. I'm sorry, I did this. I think you agreed. I take notes for half the movie and then I just go with it.
yeah,
Like
because you've got
most
your
of my
thoughts
notes are
collected.
already there, unless something really comedic happens.
Oh, I'm on page 1 of like 5 pages of notes because I had some issues with this movie. So first day is the most interesting. One thing that I'll mention that I don't have a note for, but I was like, it really struck me is like how shitty she treated her little sister so deep into the movie. You know? I told you not to touch my stuff. It's like, you're a bitch, dude.
Yeah.
She's so shitty. No, the whole time. In the very first day, she's an asshole to her sister.
I'm saying leading up to that point when you think she's going to be different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. She's just shitty to her the whole time, and I think that really sucks.
It didn't mean much to me when later in the movie when she made up with her sister, she goes, "It's finally you understand." I go, "You're just a bitch." You know, I'm like, I just don't.
Yep.
Like, it didn't do enough for like her reconciliation and spoiler because obviously she's gonna get it. Didn't mean anything to me.
No.
Because it just seemed like it was just false.
Well, and because it makes you think like, and we're not going to give away the ending just yet, but it makes you wonder like, okay, so you were nice to her on this one day. Are you going to be nice to her tomorrow? Or are you going to be fucking annoyed again in a week?
That was it because they portrayed this with a time lapse like this was days and days, almost like Palm Springs-ish.
Oh, what
like,
a good movie.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, God, we should talk about that movie again. But like they portrayed it like it was like months and months, but you know this was 2 weeks max, right? Do you agree?
I don't know.
Do you think no more than a month?
I don't think she was there longer than 6 months. Like
I
think that would be.
I do.
I think that would be a
6
stretch.
months. Yeah.
But also I
think
feel
that
like
was a month, if that.
it took her long enough to try to fix it that like
I don't
know.
I think the 7 versions of her rolling in bed were 7 days.
Did you count that? Like, was it 7?
It was like,
okay.
It was like 6 or 7. I want to say this was 2.
So that puts it at like 10, 12 days total.
I think this bitch has no attention span.
So my next 2 notes are I'm just gonna drop them and we don't even need to talk about them.
Like it's out
These girls suck is one note.
Oh God. Yeah.
Next note, Rob sucks. Okay, moving on. We talked about that enough already.
Nice. We're good.
Okay, so my prediction at this point, and this was still the first day. This was the first lunchroom. I said she's gonna team up with that nerd girl by the end. Yeah. Juliet, right? That was my prediction.
Yeah, I'll predict things too, which are more insurmountable.
What?
Ooh.
What?
This is using big words.
Next note. I'm just trying to breeze through some of my notes because I have so many. I've never been to a party like that where like girls are dancing and shit. Like I've been to parties with like music and a fuck ton of people and like but never like big dancing and like
in high school.
But I guess also.
Well, no, I take it back. No, like in high school, I was around. Yeah, things like that.
You were around me?
No, it was more like junior high, dude.
It had to be.
My freshman year, I was exposed to a lot more of these kind of high school things that I thought were cool, and then like now I'm like, oh,
that was douchey.
I'm glad we're friends because like that got me out of all that shit. But no, I remember stuff like that, like just bros, man, bros, and people getting drunk, and like that was awful.
Yeah, and I was never around that because I was like,
we did become friends till I was a sophomore.
Well, and like when I came back to school, I was like wearing like Smashing Pumpkins t-shirts and like that kind of stuff, and like
because like I was
and skateboarding and like getting into that scene.
In a smaller school, I was with the preppy kids. Like I was hanging out with preppy kids and doing that stuff
for sure.
And
then you got sucked into like the skater punks.
No, I didn't
and
get
the
sucked
hippies.
in. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah,
like,
you're welcome.
Thank you. I knew immediately that I was like, this is way better than whatever the hell that bullshit.
Yeah, was. and then you had like
Sunwear. It was like cool.
And then you had like lyrics to like 8 Dashboard confessional songs on your walls.
You don't gotta make fun of me. I had Slipknot up there too.
That's not helping the case.
I'm just saying, like, you're the one presenting.
That's what I remembered. There may have been brand new also.
So speaking of goth edge-ish, what the fuck was with that outfit when she decided to be a bad girl?
I don't know.
And she had that front. It was a front laced outfit from her.
Yeah, I've seen that kind of thing before, sure.
Below her belly button, like tied up, and she's like, "If I'm gonna be bad, I'm gonna be bad." I'm like, wait, was this a Halloween costume?
The funniest part about it is she's like, I'm gonna be bad. You see her in the outfit at first and you're like, okay, she's doing this sexy kind of thing. She's doing like an easy A kind of thing. Like, okay. But then she puts on that fucking heavy green coat and you're like, that just knocked it all away. It's all gone
and everyone's
now.
just like, he like I'm sorry, wasn't it Kent? He's like sends a note. He's like, this isn't you. And all she's doing is wearing the dress, but being herself.
She's showing off her cleavage.
And she walks up to the teacher, which we all know is going to fuck somebody.
He's like, you break a lot of hearts with that. And she's like, am I breaking yours?
Yeah, like this dude's going to fuck a child in this movie.
No, but that is like the shit that like a teacher would say.
She goes,
it's
am I breaking yours?
Sure.
And the whole class is like, oh my God.
And he's like, what?
And he's like, no. Like it was like it didn't make it.
But you're breaking the rules, or he says something like that.
Stupid. Where you're like, what? Why did you have that outfit, and why did you waste that outfit?
Quick spoiler, guys. This movie sucks.
Yeah.
You know what? But I won't even say that.
I'm sorry.
I didn't even hate it. Like honestly.
Here's the thing. She does fuck Rob finally in that outfit.
I was so bummed.
I
was so bummed. I was like, come on, he sucks.
Physical. Next question of a time loop. Zach.
Okay.
If you get fucked as a virgin one day, and then the next day you don't fuck him again, are you a virgin still?
No, of course not. Virginity isn't physiological, and it's not even necessarily like heteronormative P and V. You know, like
with a scientific ass answer. No, you're a virgin. You get to start over.
No, you're not. Because it's a mental thing. You've done it.
No. Like, if you're
It's not physiological. It's not anatomical.
If you're doing Groundhog Day in prison and someone happens to catch you in the shower, and then the next day you wake up and it's a new day, you didn't get raped.
No, you did, because you still have that physical, you have that emotional trauma. But no.
No, because you don't have the physical anus pain.
No. So let me ask you this.
All right.
If you're a lesbian.
I am.
You have sex with a woman.
Okay.
You're never penetrated by a penis in your life.
That's a waste of
Are you a
life.
virgin? No, you're not. Because we don't live in, we do live in a heteronormative society.
Real slow.
Can't do
Look
it.
in my eye.
So,
I don't like the idea that you think that I'm not.
Find the word. What are you looking for?
I don't think I'm allowed to say things like this on the podcast.
Jeez.
So, who the fuck draws a line in nail polish? Like they talk about fighting with her mom, and like the her kid sis is like, she's like, why are you so mean to mom? And she goes, I'm not. And she goes, you literally drew a line on the ground between you and her with nail polish. And I'm like, well, hang on.
We saw it earlier.
Who the fuck draws a line with nail polish?
I mean, maybe that's all she had. I don't know. Whatever.
Do you know how long that would take?
Yes, I do. I've done it. No, I don't.
Oh, there's one on the ground right now. I didn't realize you
Don't
drew.
cross it.
No, like, why wouldn't you use lipstick or some shit? Or like paint? Why would you use nail polish?
Because she has nail polish and it will stay.
Dude, it would take 22 minutes to fucking keep reapplying that fucking line. And what do you...
She did 3 or 4 coats.
Are you on a granular surface where it's going to accept the fucking...
No, nail polish
paint?
doesn't need to be on a granular surface. It goes on nails that are smooth. Like, of course that's what you would use.
I'm saying? Like, it would take longer, like...
No, that's what you want. That's the move. You just don't get it.
I don't get a lot.
You just don't get it, bro.
You know what I did get? A lot sophomore year.
Stop it.
Bazinga!
Did you just say bazinga?
Yeah, I don't know what the kids say.
No, that's from your favorite show, The Big Bang Theory.
Ew. The one me and Eric watched that
Yeah.
Eric definitely watched
And he
and
forgot.
Eric Davis watched 100% together with me.
Okay, so I'm looking through my notes. You want to get into some tropes?
Fuck, I forgot my backing. I forgot my backing to Why You're Kent.
I told you that we were going to have a lot to talk about on this episode. And you were like, "What do you mean?"
No. I completely forgot.
We are
Do you know Why
53
You're
minutes
Kent?
into recording.
Do you know Why You're Kent? Yes, he says, I wore Crocs for 365 days straight. Remember when you had those orange Crocs and I hated them?
I
and you
still
wouldn't-
have them. They suck. I don't have them because I think they're cool. I literally got them for free from Bush,
That's why
who
you're
worked at Journeys, and I wanted some shoes to slip on and off in the van on tour. Like, that's a reasonable thing. Seat got them too.
I don't give fuck Seat. Fuck him.
So here's the thing.
Care.
I traded Bush.
You had orange Crocs, and every time I'd see him, you're like, "No, this is so comfortable."
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Me and Seat both got them because I traded Bush. When he worked at Journeys, I traded Bush a bunch of lightweight holiday T-shirts for a couple pairs of Crocs.
Dude, I
And they
remember
didn't
how many
have
lightweight
black.
holiday T-shirts were going around. I had so many, I'd never heard them. Like
We had a full box of. So we bought their trailer and we had all their merch because it was in the trailer, and they're like, "Nah, it's fine." Like,
I remember how many shirts
So
I wore,
many.
and I did
I still
no
have
idea
them.
who they
I still
were
have
or
some.
what they sounded like, but I wore them all
probably
the time.
like them. But so I traded them to Bush, and the only reason I got orange is because they didn't have black, and I was like, if I can't get black, I'm gonna get the ugliest possible color.
You succeeded.
I
sir.
know.
I hated those. fucking things.
They're in my basement somewhere. I'm gonna give them to you as a gift one day.
Thank you. All right, so you have way more notes than me at this point.
Yeah, let's. Yeah,
Do you want to start the tropes? Let's just start.
yeah, let's get into tropes. Hang on. Let me look over my notes
Did you
really
write
quick.
those on cocktail napkins? What are you doing over there?
No, I told you I had
Are
to
those
use
all
this.
your notes?
Yeah, I had to use this little tiny notebook.
Zach has two by 3 napkin-like notes over there.
I have 7 pages.
Really diligently, written down though.
I know.
see.
Okay, so I'm just trying to mark
I
off.
have a real legal pad bullshit.
Yeah, I have an illegal pad.
That's funny.
Because I'm cool.
That's funny as your fucking Crocs.
Okay, they're very funny. Okay, I already talked about I can't believe she had sex with him.
Are those all new? Are you going to talk about all those?
This is stuff I haven't talked about yet.
Fucking Christ.
I'm going through to see what I've said already.
God, your dad's never going to forgive you.
So it's almost like cartoonish how shitty these girls are, like how awful they are to the one girl.
This is not a well-written
It's so
movie.
over the top.
And once again, we're going to save the ending
like
still a
also-
little bit longer, but like the ending, I literally the last note, second last note I have was I guessed this already. Was the ending.
It feels vaguely Christian in a way.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I accept.
But it really does. It feels like vaguely Christian inspirational. And like the voiceover throughout kind of lends itself to that. Like it's weird.
I feel like I will agree with the Kent thing that you're going with. That I don't think anyone learned a lesson.
No. Okay, so it's weird that when she avoids the party to try to like avoid resetting, they stay at Allie's house, right? They wake up, they go to sleep. She stays up until past the time.
5 a.m. Roughly 5 a.m. is when they all get the notice text.
Yeah, so then they get the text saying she killed herself, and they wake up.
No, I'm sorry.
Is it weird?
Who's she? Because we never introduced Juliet. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the nerd girl.
So
yes.
Juliet is the nerd girl, like the can't hardly wait kind of, like.
Can't hardly wait.
Well, I'm just saying
no.
like the obtuse. Not obtuse. Like just,
she's like
just
the girl that they pick on.
Yeah, like the
outcast.
Okay, thank you.
So they get the notice
still
that she killed herself, and I thought it was interesting that it didn't reset when she went to sleep.
Correct.
So it resets when she kills herself, I guess. I don't know. But then she goes to sleep the second time, and it does reset. So I feel like they're kind of bending their own rules here. You know? Okay.
The fact that they didn't keep with the 1238 rule.
I did get that.
Like, because all they needed to do.
What was the point of showing that time
all they needed
if
to
that
do
wasn't like a hard
was
and fast
show
rule?
that 1237 she killed herself. You know what I'm saying? That's all they had to do.
But it's almost like they were trying to do like she stayed up past it. Is she okay? Like, we know she's not because we know it's a fucking Groundhog Day.
Also,
like, we know that.
You see Juliet.
We know that Cupid Day.
Juliet wait outside of the cars to run into that specific car.
Do you think they consciously?
So the night that she kills herself, when all the four mean girls are at home, why did she do that to a random car?
I think at the end. I think at the end, it basically shows that she was planning to kill herself no matter what. She was going to go there and make a scene and then kill herself. Whatever.
I think what they could have done is made it more like It Follows, and had her kill herself at the mean girl's house. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have done something like that.
I have a note of when she asks her mom, "Do you think I'm a good person?" I just have the quote, "Do you think I'm a good person?" And then my answer is no. I don't think she's a good person.
Yeah. Let's do some tropes, bro.
This is the most heavy-handed. This is the most heavy-handed, like overt, do the right thing and break the cycle kind of movie. Like, it's so
Did I not?
heavy-handed.
But once again, that's what I was trying to tell you when I watched the trailer. It was funny because I was like,
You're like, I think I made a mistake.
Hey Zach, we should watch this one movie because I know it's gonna be good. He was like, yeah, I literally put it on the list of what we're gonna watch. I was like, oh fuck, well, it's definitely gonna be a Groundhog Day.
I was like, are you suggesting like because you found it on the list? And then you were like, no, I didn't. You didn't send me the list. And I was like, so you just randomly picked one that we had already agreed on. Cool.
Randomly picked it, but I did say, I guarantee this will be the most Groundhog Day-esque just by the trailer.
I'm going to give a tease right now that next week's movie might be the least Groundhog Day.
Ooh, I like
We're going to do a controversial one next week.
I'm going to start because you won't.
Hang on. No, I'm just trying to, like, real quick, if there's anything else here. That's a high school thing that I'm going to talk about at the end. That's a trope.
Everyone, I want you to know that I'm with you on this. That I'm also just listening to Zach read his old ideas out loud. So we're in this together, and we're all friends.
I need to talk about that. Okay.
Obviously, it's just mainly me, you, Ben, and Eric in the basement.
Tim might listen.
Oh, hi, Tim. Thank you.
Your band is good, Gutless. I made you listen to them a couple weeks ago. They're good.
Did you?
Yeah, they're good.
Oh yeah. Good job, Tim.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it.
He's a drummer. All right, let's get into tropes. Cynical to sincere. What do you think?
Yeah,
I gave it a yes.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. As far as you can stretch this story into being real, Yeah. No, I mean that's 100% what it was pitching, and okay, never mind. No, I'm sorry. Never mind. I'm not gonna jump ahead.
We agree. Okay,
So yes,
2.
yes.
Another character helps her see a different perspective.
Juliet and I see
And Kent.
Lindsay. And Lindsay.
Oh, and Kent a little bit.
I'll call Lindsay.
I think it's a 3-way. I think yes. I go yes on it.
Just like in high school.
Second day uncertainty, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
She does walk around for a while, just kind of in a.
She goes through her second day uncertainty is so weird that she literally relives the day
so on the
same
fucking
way
nose.
that she did it before.
She
and she's
really,
just like,
she's
huh?
real. It's the most uncertainty where anyone else is like grab someone like, hey, I think I'm reliving the
This
day.
is fucking crazy.
She's passively
She's like,
I
let
think this is kind of like a dream.
She's like, maybe if I just let this play out, I won't die at the end. And then she does, and she wakes up third day and is like, oh, fuck, I did. Like,
this movie sucks, bro. Like, yeah, I was trying to hold off, but this movie
I didn't hate it.
You don't need to watch this. Like, just
No,
listen,
well,
listen to this and you got
the
it.
only reason I would say watch it is because it's on Netflix. Like, that's it for me.
Still, watch something else.
Okay.
Isolation.
I say no.
So yeah.
Well, but she has her 4 friends the whole time. Like, she's not isolated. She has them.
No,
she's in her
because
home.
she
has
doesn't
school.
when she wears the button-up dress in the front because she loses her friends.
So the way that I looked at isolation is that it applies to the whole thing. So isolation comes from Phil is alone out of town.
No, you always do this, and you have. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that mine's credited because just because they're not out of town doesn't mean there's not isolation. She doesn't have anyone to really. She doesn't even try to go, hey, listen, I'm reliving the same day for the most part. Like, I think she feels isolation.
I mean, sure. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm arguing for why I didn't do it.
Okay.
I'm saying this is why I didn't.
And this is why you're Kent.
Okay. Number 5, attempts to explain the situation to an outsider.
In the bathroom. Yeah,
I checked yes.
In the bathroom
for
with,
the same reason.
And I feel bad. Her name
with that red-haired girl. I didn't catch her name.
AC. And you know what we didn't talk about? I thought was so cute is later in the bedroom scene with Kent. Is she takes off her shoes and she did swap.
She swapped with her.
She did swap.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I really liked, and I really liked how she's like the like tough girl's like, nice shoes, and she's like, well, how about yours? And then goes back and forth, and it's like, no, let's switch. Come on, let's switch.
And then you never find out. If she
I thought that was really fun.
No, I thought that was neat. But no, she goes. I know you've seen on the bathroom ACBD, and she goes. The last part's for Bull Dyke, because she's gay, and she goes, you made fun of me for being gay. So I don't know her name, but she does say AC.
AC.
So
Slater.
Whatever AC is.
Okay, moving on. Takes advantage. So originally, here's the thing. I checked off takes advantage as yes, but later I said no.
I have no.
She tries to take advantage, but then doesn't because she doesn't really get it.
No, like I don't have it because I don't really recall anything that she did.
There's nothing she does that's fun. There's nothing she does that. Yeah. There's no free spiritedness like there is. There's no like chaos to it like there is in Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
So I said no. At the end of it, I said no.
By the way, does she not seem like a young Anna Kendrick?
She does.
Up in the air.
She does.
The whole time I'm like, is this the same person? I'm just not getting.
She does seem she has a kind of an Anna Kendrick vibe, but I thought her face and you can tell me if you agree on this. I thought her face had a bit of a Sam Losi feel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because
that's one of our friends who hopefully listens to this
Anna
show.
Kendrick.
We love you, Sam.
No, Sam's beautiful. Anna Kendrick. She's gorgeous, but I always thought she was plain. And then this girl.
Have you ever seen the GIF where they fade between her face and Adam Scott, and it looks exactly the same, and it's very strange.
I love Adam Scott, so
but it's very weird. Because
you
see her, I don't think she looks like him.
Samantha in this, there's a time where I'm like, okay, she's plain, and then others when she's, I mean, I don't want to be rude, but when she's actually acting, when she's not just sitting around just getting filmed. I'm like, oh no, she's gorgeous. She's beautiful.
Yeah, and I think she's a pretty good actor. I think
she did well.
I think we're about 50-50 in this movie for really good actors versus just okay.
Yeah.
like I thought the little sister was actually really good, and when I looked up her name, her last name was like Tremblay, which is like I assume she's related to Jacob Tremblay, who was in Room, and he's an incredible little actor.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but okay. That's
a movie that you really should watch. It's very intense and really like beautiful and like emotional. Okay. Takes advantage. We both said no. 7 tries multiple ways to get to the next day. Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so at all.
Yeah. Question mark.
I think she tries to avoid it, and that's the only way she tries. For me, that's it.
What was it? No, she tries
until the very end.
No, before she does her bad girl gimmick. No, she goes to the.
She tries to avoid going to the party, and she thinks that's
Juliet,
the difference.
And it's like, okay, I'm being nice now.
No, she just watched her. That's all. She didn't hang out with her.
Was it. Like, there was a comment made.
Maybe
in her monologue where she was like, "Okay, I know what I need to do," before like the
well, and then she tries to stop her from killing herself, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm still gonna allow it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I say no.
I'm doing a walk.
Gives up selfish ways to break the cycle.
Sure. I felt weird about this one.
I have an asterisk for it. Now, hang on. Let me find my. I have a note for my asterisk. I don't know where it is.
Because once again, I don't feel this is true.
So I don't think.
I mean, yes. As in, she gave up everything, but like it just doesn't seem real.
So for me, okay, here's where I kind of landed is, I give her cynical to sincere or gives up selfish ways. She doesn't get both.
I got you.
I don't give her both.
Well, tell him the ending. Tell him the ending.
So the ending is her penultimate loop. She goes to the party. She talks to Kent, and they have like a bonding moment, sort of.
She breaks up with Rob.
She breaks up with Rob.
The scumbag's now gone.
And he says, "Oh, I should have fucked the
drunk Chris.
I should have picked Elodie," which is really stupid. But then she like goes to the party and she catches. So she's up in Kent's room with him, like, and they're bonding and having this like really great sweet moment. And she hears the screaming of Juliet, like, getting into the fight with the other 3 mean girls, and she runs down and tries to chase after her, and she chases her out into the woods, and then we see Juliet throws herself in front of the car, and that's what caused the wreck. And what's funny though is every time we saw the wreck before, I kind of thought like, I'm not seeing like what's causing this. Like I don't see like, did they just slip or what happened?
That's what I'm saying.
But like, she jumped out in front of it.
I knew early on because the truck passes that hits her at the end.
Yeah.
And she in the second day uncertainty, she goes, the truck. And yeah, you never see it. I'm like, yeah, it's because that fucking girl jumps in front of it.
That's a good prediction.
I have
that's
written down like, yeah, it's that fucking girl.
I didn't see
like,
that.
It's gonna be one big loop.
I'm also not the kind of person who sees that stuff. Like, it's funny because like my wife.
Normally, I'm just like this movie's so fucking transparent.
So yeah, so my wife is. So, you know what? And this is, I guess this is like naive or whatever, but like I'm just so like swept away with the magic, the movie magic. I buy in so heavily that like I don't see that kind of stuff, you know?
No,
I don't see it coming.
I am too when it's a great movie like The Prestige. I didn't know that
my
Christian
God.
Bale was. Even though you watch it again, you're like, it's fucking Christian Bale the entire goddamn time. I'm just like, I love that movie. Like, I just didn't see it. Like,
such a good movie. Yeah, but like I don't see that stuff coming. Like my wife, like she sees stuff coming. Like we'll watch movies like The Usual Suspects that she's like never seen, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's this," and I'm like, "What? How do you know that?"
It's because she's got no heart or soul.
She's like legitimately the sweetest, like nicest person I've ever met in my life.
I once described her as the definition of empathy.
Dude,
so,
yes, she's incredible.
No, she's wonderful. No, Kristen's wonderful. But however, she does ruin movies.
No, but she sees stuff like that I never would, and I'm like, how did you fucking see that, man? Like, yeah, it's wild. But yeah, so gives up selfish ways. I said no. A couple things that I wanted to talk about overall is where was this?
He's going through his napkins right now, everybody.
So in high school, in high school, it's like this movie is like heavily predicated on like people having history from middle school, or you know, in the past, like Juliet and Lindsay had history. Kent and Sarah had history, or Kent and Sam had history. All these people had history. And it was that really struck me as like, that's high school, because everybody does have that history that you feel like is like, oh, it's ancient history, this baggage, or, you know, like, oh, they were friends and then something happened and they stopped being friends. And everybody knows that person that, like, these two girls were best friends until 6th grade when one of them hit puberty and somebody decided that they were pretty and the other one wasn't. And, like, that's it, you know? And, like, it really struck a chord with me as, like, this is one thing. So I think it's interesting to find this one gem of, like, realness within this, like, shitty movie. It's a bad movie. Like, overall, like, I give it like a 2 stars out of 5, you know, like.
Yeah. I was gonna say 4 out of 10, which is
it's popcorn. Yeah, same thing. But like, but to find this one pearl of, like,
you know what's funny?
Honesty within it, I thought was really
right,
nice.
Because if I ever wrote a script, something like this, I would never encounter that because I know I can speak for you too. I didn't have that. I didn't grow up.
Well, you were like homeschooled, right?
For a couple years, but I went from a private school to homeschooling to a public school.
So I did have that
in
history.
Junior high. So like I didn't have that shit.
People I graduated with, I was in preschool with.
When I came to high school, people were like, "Oh, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, who's this kid?"
So it wasn't the same. So like I wouldn't write that way. But
you were the new kid.
I forgot that a lot of people do have that.
But that is, especially at a small school like the one we went to, is like there's so much history with everybody, you know.
Yeah.
Which I think is really interesting, and I think that kind of touches at the heart of a lot of that type of relationship, and especially as a senior in high school, you're dealing with all these like emotions of like, it's the end of an era, you know, we're having this big party and blah blah blah, and like I know like my senior year there was a bunch of parties that I went to that I never would have gone to otherwise, with like you said, like preppy kids or like, you know, people that I didn't really associate with.
We were also in a smaller school, but
yeah. I think my graduating class was like 120 something.
Mine, because of heroin, was like less than 100.
Jesus.
Because like 20 people dropped out my senior year.
That's
like
dark.
Up on fucking H. On dog.
Yeah. Horse.
Dog.
But yeah, no. So I thought that was really interesting. I think the fact that it takes her as long as it does to even try to stop Juliet from killing herself shows just how like awful she is to begin with. Like, that first night,
it's hard to say awful. It's just almost like she doesn't. I mean, I'm sorry, awful and don't care are separate things, but like it is a mirror image.
But the fact that like that night that she wakes up, that we talked about, where they go to the party at Allie's house, that she wakes up and finds out that she's dead. When she wakes up and it's another loop, she should immediately be like, I'm going to stop that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go bond with this girl and try to do something to stop her from killing herself.
Keep in mind, she's only 17 or 18.
Right, so but that's how like vapid and careless these teenagers are.
36-year-old male mentality.
I don't know why gender has to come into it.
Because we're 36 and males.
Also, I found one of my favorite quotes in a movie ever. This is like cinema history. It's up there with like Rosebud. She is the one who peed.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Old Mellow Yellow.
It's this really intense scene, and she's just yells, she is the one who peed.
That delivery. No, I'm sorry, not that delivery.
Stiff.
That writing was
it's bad.
Awful. All she had to do with Juliet, you know, like she took the rap for peeing in a 5th grade, peeing in a sleeping bag shit, whatever. All she had to do was go, I took the rap. I was her best friend. I did that. And she turned against me and she went, she is the one who peed. Like, it wasn't like, what the fuck?
It was Shakespearean. She is the one who hath peed.
And she was, quote unquote, crazy, but you're like, you couldn't have thought anything better than that.
This
like,
is
not the actress, the writers.
So I thought I thought an interesting point was that this loop, as far as like time loop movies goes, this loop at least has a cause. Like, they died because they made Juliet commit suicide. That's why they died. It's a direct correlation. Yeah. So that's why they die, but that's why the loop happens, is because she's the only one of the 4 of them who would even try to make that right and to change it.
The other 3 should have died.
Yeah, they're trash. They should have still died. So another note that I had was, why would she still be friends with Lindsay? Once she found out, like, once she started trying to be a better person,
Lindsay
why would she still be friends with her? She's a
Lindsay
bitch.
Lindsay is the trust. Like Albany or whatever is just like, they're fighting, and she goes, just come back, like, she says this stuff or whatever, justifies it, and you're like, just be friends with her and Allie. You don't be friends with Lindsay. Lindsay's a fucking bitch.
She's toxic.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so what I saw is like the lesson of, I think, all time loop movies is don't be an asshole. That's it.
I mean, yeah.
That's the lesson of almost everything in this.
I think it's don't be a selfish asshole.
That's fair. That's a fair.
You can be an asshole because Jake Gyllenhaal was kind of an asshole, but he was.
But that's not a Groundhog Day. You're right.
Yeah, like I will say, and we kind of talked about this before. This one started. It's like the movies are starting to wear down, as in like it's everything's less surprising, obviously, but also it's like, I don't know. Do you feel like you're losing momentum, as it were?
I feel like
as we're going through these movies, it's almost like it's not quite as shocking. Maybe it's because the last two were just like mundane.
Well, I don't know. I think Source Code was actually a really good movie.
It's a good movie, but still, like, as far as Groundhog Day, like, it got a 50-50 or whatever.
I think it was less, right?
I'm sorry, maybe it was a 30.
Yeah, it was the lowest one we had. But so I don't know. I think it depends. I think and I think it depends on just the day you watch it too, because you might be like in a generous mood of like, oh, I'll give it to him. Yeah, I'll give that to him, or or you might be like being a stickler and be like, no, this didn't fit the criteria that I had in my head for it. So I don't know. I think this one was very Groundhog Day, and it didn't break 50% for me specifically. But one thing, okay, my last point that I have, and then we'll get into our total percentages, even though I spoiled mine. But we'll get into our percentages and talk about what we're gonna watch for next week. But my last point that I had was like, in all these movies, our main character has a choice, multiple choices, including being a better person and picking a different love interest. But the second is always representative of the first. So like the fact that she gives up the shitty boyfriend and goes with the, like, air quotes, nice guy of Kent is like, oh, she's made the right decision by picking this guy. But like, really, the problem that I see there is like, she doesn't need to pick a guy to like better herself. She just needs to make a better choice about how she treats other people.
I disagree, because she didn't pick the guy. She made Kent feel happy.
But she didn't pick him.
She's running off to go kill herself because she kind of knows.
I don't think that's it. I don't think she does know. I think, okay, so what we didn't
about a dude, bro.
So what we didn't talk about, the very ending is, so the second to last, the penultimate loop, she chases after Juliet in the woods, tries to stop her from killing herself, can't do it. She runs, jumps in front of the car, and that's when we see that she's jumping in front of Lindsay's car, and that's what caused the wreck and caused them to die.
She's trying to make amends.
Well, right. But
so Kent was kind of irrelevant.
I disagree.
Okay.
But so in the final loop, she knows that she tried to kill herself, or she kills herself, and that's what makes her. It's the car that they were in, and that's what led to it and everything. So she goes from the start and tries to do all this nice stuff for her to try to soften that and make her not do it, and it still doesn't work. Now, she still runs out and tries to jump in front of that truck, but Sam goes and pushes her out of the way, and she gets hit anyway. She gets hit instead, and she dies from it. And I thought this was insane, that like, I was expecting, so most of these time loop movies are happy endings, even if they're darker, like Source Code. There's still happy endings where there's a victory. And in this one, the victory is the main character gets to die. No, that's the victory. That's her reward. You get to die. You get to stop living this day over and over. And like, that's the thing that I thought made this movie
stand out.
Yeah, interesting. That's what made this movie interesting, is the choice they made at the end to say, fuck it, she's going to die. It's the choice that Kevin Smith made to have Dante get shot at the end of Clerks, originally. In the original cut, Clerks ends with a gunman coming in, robbing the Quick Stop and shooting him. Now they told him it was too much, and he ended up backing off and cutting it out. But like that's that bold move of like, nope, this is her ultimate purpose was to do some good in this world, and that's also kind of what made me feel like it had some vaguely Christian vibes. That it was like,
and once again, I mean, I don't.
I monologue too much on this show.
No, it's. I feel they did it,
and in life.
Forgive me, pessimist. I feel they did it solely to be different.
Maybe.
I think, once again, from my viewpoint, as far as the tropes go, this is very Groundhog Day, so they needed something to stand out alone. Because other than that, the movie was kind of dumb.
Yeah,
so they
I agree.
needed something to be separate.
Oh, I thought of, while we were having this conversation, I thought of why they keep calling it Cupid Day. Because they wanted to bash you over the head with the fact that it is a Groundhog Day. So they decided to make it a holiday that does not have day in it, but they specifically call it Cupid Day. So it's like Groundhog Day.
Why not Valentine's Day? Because it was too much like Happy Death Day?
No, I don't think so. Because I don't think so. I think it was
Was
literally
that around Valentine's Day?
They wanted to have their own thing. No, that's just her birthday.
Sorry.
You'll find out when we watch Happy Death Day to you.
I just, I don't know. I'm kind of...
We're going to watch it. It's on the list.
I'm a little bit done with this movie. And thank you so much. Let's talk about next week.
Let's wrap this up. What was how many tropes did you check off of the 8?
No, it got 7 yes out of 8.
7 out of 8.
Like,
wow.
I knew this one was going to rank high.
This is scintillating.
Titillating. Because you boot
68.75%.
Is that it?
Well, mine was 50.
That was going to get way better.
Yours was 87. Mine was 50.
I thought you get more yeses.
4. I gave it 4. Yeah.
Okay.
68.75, but that's still really high. Like, you're right. This is one of the higher episodes we've done.
Well, let's
good job.
I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. Let's talk
No, we're done.
Next week.
Next week, we're going to do a movie that I think is controversial, and I think you might get upset right now when I say this.
Why?
Because
Why?
there's a lot of
people.
I think a lot of people would argue and say this is not a Groundhog Day because it is not a time loop movie at all.
And what the fuck are you doing?
The movie is 50 First Dates.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
I think I saw the first quarter of that movie, and it was okay.
So you saw first 12.5 days?
I'm not a big Adam Sandler movie per se.
Same.
I mean, obviously, I was raised
Uncut Gems.
with that movie's so good. No, I was raised with like Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore,
Sure.
but of course,
Sidetrack. Which one of those do you think is better? Because I have an
Happy
answer.
Gilmore. Happy
Thank
Gilmore.
you. Okay,
Gilmore.
we're on the same page.
Of course it is.
Okay. Okay, good.
But obviously, Punch Drunk Love is one of my favorite movies, and he's like, it's one of those
before
things where,
before the mic
anytime
heated
a
up, we talked
comedian-
about There Will Be Blood, and Paul Thomas Anderson is incredible, and that was his idea of a comedy.
yeah.
Punch Drunk Love was his idea of a comedy. Isn't that insane?
It is a comedy.
No,
It is a comedy.
that is dark, but great. We should
But-
watch that eventually, not for this show.
Yeah. But where I was getting at, no, like I love Adam Sandler in certain situations.
Yeah, he can be very good.
I think he. I'm not even. I mean, once
But
again,
I think
kudos
50
to him.
First Dates-
He ran with his showdom. He did fantastic.
He just does whatever he
I'm
wants.
not hating on him because I think he's a good dude and he supports all his friends, Nick Swartzen and
All those dudes.
yeah. So
Kevin James.
So once again, I'm not ripping on him. Like I just don't particularly like all of his stuff. But yeah, like Uncut Gems. But yeah, like 50 First Dates, I was into.
50 First Dates, I think, is a really underrated
and Drew
movie.
Barrymore, she's so fucking cute.
I love Drew
She's
Barrymore.
So cute.
All right, so we're doing 50 First Dates next week,
Okay.
and go. I don't know.
Serviced. Get
Like us
get
on social
services,
media
any
if we have
services you
those at
need.
this point. Go listen to Watterson on Spotify. Go listen to Sinclarity: A Dinosaur's Tale. If you need any services.
services. Misery Whip, we started shooting on Saturday.
I'm very excited about
Everything
Misery
went
Whip.
very well. And I think the cap date will be March, so I'll let you know when we have some kind of trailer out, because I heard they are releasing a trailer.
That rules.
Once we get some more footage. So
Misery Whip is a short film that you are co-starring in.
19th century period about
loggers.
Yeah,
that rules.
And it'll end up being like a half hour to a 45-minute piece.
I've seen some set photos and it looks incredible.
Yeah, it's
gorgeous.
Quite exciting.
So that's it for this week. Thanks for listening, and if you need any services,
call someone to service you.
as always.